Hey. Today is February 4th, and we are up to Matthew chapter 16. Um, I'm going to most likely read out of both today. Probably, yeah, I think so. Um, Tell me, how did you feel about yesterday's um, chapter? We're about halfway through, which is pretty cool, but here we go. If you hear that whistling, sounds like brakes, it's my dog. Ignore him. Okay, Matthew chapter 16. I have you balanced on a stuffed animal because obviously I'm not a pro at this. I don't know why the color keeps going in and out. That's kind of weird. Maybe I'll just figure that out later. However, okay. The Pharisees and the Sadducees approached and tested him, asking him to show them a sign from heaven. He replied, "When evening comes, you say, it will be good weather because the sky is red. And in the morning, today will be stormy because the sky is red and threatening. You know how to read the appearance of the sky, but you can't read the signs of the times. An evil, adulterous generation demands a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of Jonah." Then he left them and went away. The disciples reached the other shore, and they had forgotten to take bread. Then Jesus told them, "Watch out and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees." They were discussing amongst themselves, "We didn't bring any bread." Aware of this, Jesus said, "You of little faith, why are you discussing amongst yourselves that you do not have bread? Don't you understand yet? Don't you remember the 5 loaves for the 5,000 and how many baskets you collected? Or even the 7 loaves for the 4,000 and how many large baskets you collected? Why is it you don't understand that when I told you, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees, it wasn't about bread?" Then they understood that he had not told them to beware of the leavened bread, but teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, still others Jeremiah or the one of the prophets." "But you," he asked them, "well, who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, Son of the living God." Jesus responded, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overpower it. I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will have been bound in heaven, and whatever you lose on earth will have been loosed in heaven." Then he gave the disciples orders to tell no one that he was the Messiah. From then on, Jesus began to point out to his disciples that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders, chief priests, and scribes to be killed, and he raised on the third day. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "Oh no, Lord, this will never happen to you." Jesus turned to Peter. "Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me because you're not thinking about God's concerns, but human concerns." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone wants to follow me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life because of me will find it. For what will it benefit someone if he gains the whole world yet loses his life? Or what will anyone give in exchange for his life? For the Son of Man is going to come in with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will reward each according to what he has done. Truly, I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." Oh, that finished quick. Okay, that was CSB. Now we're on to this. Remember, this is the King James Version, so let's see how different it comes across. Then the Pharisees and Sadducees came, and testing him, asked that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said to them, When it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and threatening. Hypocrites, you know how to discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. And he left them and departed. Now when his disciples had come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread. Then Jesus said to them, Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It is because we have taken no bread. But Jesus, being aware of it, said to them, O you of little faith, why do you reason among yourselves because you have brought no bread? Do you not yet understand, or remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000, and how many baskets you took up? Nor the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many large baskets you took up? How is it you do not understand that I did not speak to you concerning bread, but to be aware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees? Then they understood that he did not tell them to beware of the leaven of bread, but the doctrine of the Pharisees and Sadducees. When Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Who do men say that I am? The Son of Man am? So they said, Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said to them, But who do you say that I am? Simon Peter answered and said, You are Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus answered and said to him, Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for the flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on the rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. When he commanded his disciples that they should tell no one that he was Jesus the Christ. From that time, Jesus began to show to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised on the 3rd day. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, Far be it from you, Lord, this shall not happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are an offense to me, for you are not mindful of the things. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are an of offense to me, for you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of men. Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man will come in the glory of his Father and his angels, and he will reward each according to his works. Assuredly I say to you, there are some standing here who shall not taste death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Again, they questioned him providing. Like I said last chapter, and this time he calls them out on it. Like, come on now. Did y'all not see me feed 5,000? Did you not see me feed 4,000? Like, you're worried about that? Pay attention. That's not what I'm talking about. Watch what they're giving you. Talking about the Pharisees and Sadducees. And he's starting to like guide them. Like it says, he predicts his death and resurrection, and he's trying to prepare them, even though they're still not believing that he can do it. It's like they have like a lukewarm Christian. Like, they have the idea that he is who he is. However, they don't quite fully grasp it. They still question his abilities. They still think that he's not going to provide for them. Like, he just showed you many times. He's shown them more than just the 2 times in the past 2 chapters. Like, they've been with him for a minute, and he's still healing the sick, bringing people back from the dead. Like, come on. Why are y'all not getting it? This is definitely, they're starting to get on my nerves. Full transparency, humble, open, and transparent. They're getting on my nerves. However, I understand, because I am still in that stage of where I believe that everything he says will come to pass. It's hard to stop myself because I'm so used to being in control, and that's what the devil wants. He wants you to stop letting God do what he's supposed to do. He wants you to rebel, because it technically is rebelling against what God wants you to do and needs you to do. So, yeah. That was a lot. I'm going to probably reread again. If not, well, when I edit this, or try to edit, I will listen to it again and, yeah, make some notes.